There's an interesting problem that's been highlighted by GB News, and I watch it so you don't have to. And the discussion starts in Dagenham, East London, where the Robert Clark School of Science has just declared that it might close because so many of its employees are asking for a holiday to celebrate Eid al-Fitr. And since Eid is a big occasion for many employees and students, the head teacher has openly acknowledged in a letter to parents that the school would not be able to run safely because of understaffing. Now, GB News and political pundits like Paul Embury, predictably have jumped on the story and accused the school of giving in to asymmetric multiculturalism, a theory that holds that tolerance for minority traditions comes at the expense of the majority culture. However, is this a truly revolutionary new development? It's actually nothing like that. A similar dispute arose in 2016 when the East London's Chobham Academy abruptly shuttered because of teacher absences over Eid. Additionally, Byram Primary and the Co-op Academy Grange were among Bradford schools that closed last year because of staff and student observance of Eid, citing safety and supervision issues. Nor is this an exclusively British issue. After deciding to close for Eid, the Iqbal Masih School near Milan in northern Italy, where more than 40% of the students are Muslim, attracted political criticism, especially from Matteo Salvini, citing both pedagogical practicality and constitutional consideration. The school remained steadfastly shuttered. In contrast, the situation in the US appears more promising. After years of advocacy, Eid is now officially observed as a public school holiday in Dearborn, Detroit, and New York City, cities with a sizable Muslim population. And due to attendance-based state financing regulations, Dearborn schools reported that Eid absence rates were so high that it was financially nonsensical to stay open. These instances highlight the fundamental problem, which is the conflict between a movable lunar holiday and institutional calendars that are set in stone. The exact day of Eid cannot be set until the moon is sighted, and unlike Christmas or Easter, that means you can't predict exactly which day Eid is going to fall. And this leads to uncertainty, logistical stress, and when personnel levels are too low, a challenging decision between safety and education. Councils have tried to include Eid closures in the school calendar, though legislation is tough to catch up. But it has happened in some places, such as Tower Hamlets. But tension was also raised by this, and local leaders objected to the loss of discretionary power. Christian voluntary aided schools objected, and the National Association of Head Teachers cautioned that defining holidays for one group while disregarding others, Sikhs, Hindus, Jews, Orthodox Christians who might be celebrating Christmas in early January, would inflame animosity. Thus we're faced with a conundrum. How can a secular educational system fairly accept religious diversity without devolving into cultural bias or administrative mayhem? If our winter holiday is structured around Christmas and our spring holiday is structured around Easter, why are we being so abusive in denying a holiday for people who have been fasting for a month and celebrating Eid? Transparency and forethought are two ways to solve this. Schools might create flexible leave frameworks that allow teachers and students to take one day of religious leave per year, clearly planned for and announced months in advance after consulting with local religious leaders and communities earlier in the school year. Proportionality is another. Just as many primary Catholic districts in Northern Ireland or Polish schools in Chicago may do it, it makes obvious sense to reflect the realities of a school's 70% Muslim population in the school calendar. It's pragmatic localism, not creeping Sharia. Above all, though, this shouldn't be viewed as a catalyst for a culture war. Parents do deserve notice, and certainly continuity in education is important. However, when practiced properly, faith-based observance should not jeopardize unity. In fact, it should celebrate unity, and it should celebrate diversity.